Good day, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Subramanian Maslamani. I am a Tamil. Today, my topic is Tamils worldwide on developing a modern character. Let us ask the Sinhalese people in Sri Lanka, what can we do for them instead of asking them can they do for us? They have nothing to give us. They cannot give us anything. They will not give us anything, and they do not want to give us anything. This every Tamil must, should, and ought to understand. The reclamation and regaining of Dravidian character is unavoidable and unstoppable. When Tamil was spoken and heard with standing ovation and applause by all 303 other members of the Canadian Parliament, some 12,000 miles away from Tamil land in South Asia, I knew we are on our way back up. It is not the standing armies that is relevant, but the character of the people that determines the fate of empires. Tamils in Sri Lanka must stop looking south to the Sinhalese and north to the Indians. Both are characterless people. They lack the intellect to live in modern democratic societies. The Sinhalese are mindless people. They can be made to be sacrificial lambs by their criminal gangs. SWRD Bandaranaike, J.R. Jayawardena, and Mahinda Rajapaksa are their iconic criminals who use the Tamils as scapegoats to stay in power. Mahinda Rajapaksa is the product of 2600 years of barbaric mindset. Otherwise, how else can a serial murderer rise to power? On the other spectrum, utopia is far, far away. As long as we have race, religion, caste, and language defining national identity, we will have civil commotions, riots, and wars. South Asia lacks leaders who can bring the people together and maintain peace. For 3,500 years, this region was ruled by foreign invaders. Therefore, Tamils, instead of asking these unrefined and undefined millions of people for something they do not have and they cannot give, must provide leadership to salvage this region. It is partly our ignorance that we suffer today. We are quite capable people and must ask them, what can we do for them? Then what can they do for us? The white man know how to bring the skills of various colors and cultures to build beautiful lives and cities. As it is, Tamils have no nation with national boundaries. We have neither land power or no population power, no economic and financial power. We need a nation of our own. Every nation is out there to take care of its interests only. To think otherwise is naive. Only we Tamils depend on others to take care of us, and that is not going to work. Self-preservation is the prime motive of any living being, and if we do not take care of us, others will only take care of us like stepchildren. There is no substitute for self-preservation except a man-made zoo. Whether it is South India, Sri Lanka, Singapore, Malaysia, Europe, and America, we have no defining power or determining power. There are 70 million of us on the face of the earth, and we do not have a country called ours. But we could, if only we can unite the community. The problem we have is our 500 years of colonial underclass mentality, and on top of it, we introduce caste system to make it worse. Maybe the colonial masters used caste as a demeaning characteristic of us. Jewish people are only about 6 million, which is only 0.1% of the world population. But they control between 5 to 10% of the world wealth. They need it to compensate for their lack of land mass and population mass. They control some of the largest financial centers in the world. We Tamils are in the same situation, and also we have the capability and capacity to grow like the Jews. We must do that. What we Tamils must realize is that we are just minorities in very many nations. Under such threatening socio-political conditions, we should be pulling together, forming a circle, and defend ourselves, which we are not doing very well. Looking at us from an evolution point of view, we are becoming a race of weak people destined to be absorbed and extinct. Evolution is a natural phenomenon whereby the nature selects the best and breeds the better than the best. Can we survive as a race in relation to larger breeding populations like the Americans, Europeans, and Asians? We must think about it. Caste, categorization, and segregation. When the African slaves were brought to America in chains on ships, did they ever think that one will become the president of the masters? That is how far human race has evolved in social etiquette. In America, we do not profile people based on race, religion, caste, language, but based on the content of the character and the intelligence of the mind. Anyone who hates America should come to America and see what they can achieve. It's a place to be if you intend living your life fully with absolute freedom. We Tamils must understand history that the invading Nordics introduced the caste system to genetically degrade a once vibrant Dravidian race. And we are still living with that mindset. In a world, boys and girls are marrying diverse nationalities. If we stick to defunct caste system, we will all produce guinea pigs for medical professionals to tinker around with. If you visit any hospital, you will see the devastation caste has done to a once virulent and vibrant race of people. We have lost a lot of generations and talents. Time to get it back. Creating a modern Tamil community. Unlike the Jews, who are only Europe and America, we Tamils have the advantage of being all over the world. That gives us hereditary and intellectual advantage to a wider gene pool and knowledge base. Whatever happened to us has happened, and let's see what good can be made out of it. It's an opportunity for us to recharge our virulence and vibrancy. We need stronger community to live between India in the north and the barbarians in the south. So, nature has taken control of our destiny. We will be back in our motherland soon as a much more vibrant race. When we look at the present day Tamils, we feel sad for their nature and nurture. We had to look beyond them and rebuild a better Tamil society. Today, they are self-seeking, narrow-minded, caste-oriented, diabetics, and cardiovascular disease people. By the age of 50, they are mumbling, stumbling, and fumbling. The importance of community. If one wants to see the importance of community, they must come to Canada. Canada is a new country, so it brings in new people every year. Once a certain threshold number is reached, immigration from the community is curtailed, allowing the migrants to get naturalized. During the period, the community stays together and help each other to prosper. Everyone prospers and reaches the Canadian standard. After that, their children and grandchildren are Canadians and they work for government, multinational corporations, high income, self employment as doctors, engineers, and lawyers. That is excellent in a peace loving country, but for Tamils, there are challenges everywhere, and we had to stay together as one united community. Think about a fish. When will it discover water? It will discover water when it loses its water. Importance of unity. The Tamil question can be easily resolved if the community can present itself as one united front. But there seems to be division, ignorance, and personal gains that hamper clear thinking. Tamils must look beyond self-preservation to form union of people who bound together by strong communal ties and traits. There is always a sense of self-preservation motive among poorly developed communities. The fear of loss of life and property leads to narrow-minded thinking. It is the case in primitive societies and some less developed socioeconomic systems. Men, especially in the West, particularly in America, have realized that a combined force have more power than the sum of individual forces. That is one plus one is more than two. There is hybrid vigor when two people get together, and there will be social vigor when a community of people get together. Importance of shared vision, shared responsibility, and shared prosperity. When we get together as a synergistic group with shared vision and shared responsibility in mind, there will be multifold increase in prosperity, which can be more than if we have attempted to create the prosperity on our individual own. The original formation of society is to have shared joint vision, responsibility, and hence shared prosperity. To be self-serving and self-preservation is a must. That's the core of existence. But we must learn to go beyond self-preservation and build a society that will be much more protective for our tender nature. We have to build a defense. We do not, we have no built-in defense like the poison in a snake or a muscle in a tiger, powerful mouth and teeth in a crocodile, or the size of an elephant. We are weak physically. So, like social animals like ants, termites, and insects, we need to form a union that will offer us better self preservation. Human rights and social responsibility. The Holocaust and genocide that happened in Sri Lanka to the Tamils showed the world the worst of animal instinct of our human nature. 40,000 confirmed dead, 350,000 missing. That makes it the worst crime against humanity by humanity. There are two complementary etiquettes. One is human right, that is, as a human being, I have certain rights. One of them is right to life. The other is social responsibility, that as a community, we owe respect and protection to each individual member of the community. Sri Lankan Sinhalese wantonly breached the protection they owed to the Tamil people. Thereby, they are guilty of human rights violations. Since the president himself and his government were the perpetrators, it is hard to investigate and bring justice and uphold moral justice. Importance of social justice, united preservation of individual dignity and respect. Humans are sensitive animals. They have the feeling of hurt and pain. The very purpose daily life is to live that life with freedom, dignity, and satisfaction. Around this need are built all other needs. It is the same for all. Therefore, in the interest of my own dignity and satisfaction, I must respect and reciprocate other people's dignity and satisfaction. So then social justice is a mutual respect for each other. In modern democracies, the government, which is the collective body and will of the people under a constitution, ensures there is equity in social justice. All citizens are treated with fairness, justice, dignity, and respect. It's the same for all. Since it is the same for all, there's no point in making it unfair or uneven. That is the very crux of utopian societies. In this respect, people have defied the natural laws of selection and survival of the fittest. We have become an artificial creation that respects even the weakest in the society. On leaving a legacy, there's nothing a leader can do except being a strong example. The work has to be done by individuals and every family. The Tamils have something going for us, which is the family integrity. That is the seminal source of stability and prosperity. Every Tamil should become a leader unto oneself. When we all prosper, we all will prosper as a community. If we can understand and understood each other, we can be a great example to the rest of the world. Among Tamils, we have time-tested and proven mode of social living. That is the transgenerational character of caring for the elders and the youngers. We, in between, work to care for the aged and prepare the younger to take over. It is never, it is a never-ending relay where the responsibility is handed over to the generation next. In modern society, it is institutionalized, and the state care for the dependents, young, old, invalid, and infirm. As Tamils, we are endowed with this continuity, and we must work hard to preserve it. This is what the Sinhalese are trying to destroy. They say they want to care for the Tamils. I have an answer for them. Who destroyed it in the first place? If you committed atrocities and then work to repair it, it is your ignorance and not your intelligence. If you really care for the Tamil people, you let the world know that what you did was indeed good for the Tamils, which will be hard to prove. It is very sad to see educated, enlightened professors and doctors waste their valuable time trying to defend their action when one simple action will suffice. As Occam Razor states, every problem has a simple solution. Simple solution arise The simple solution arises from respect, honesty, sincerity, and integrity. Those who lack those high qualities beat around the bush, hoping that the issue will go away. That's all for this week, folks. As I always say, 70 million Tamils worldwide, unite, stay together, work hard, and never ever give up. The best is yet to come, and we are winning. My name is Subramani Maslamani, a world-class Tamil, powered by convictions, commitments, and conscience.